Somewhere, far away from the noise of the world, there lies a vast, mirror-like lake. The surface of the water is perfectly still, reflecting the endless depth of the sky above. It is a place where time seems to pause, resting comfortably in the arms of silence. In the very center of this tranquil water, a single white lotus begins to wake. It rests upon the surface like a cradle, held gently by the cool, supporting embrace of the lake. There is no hurry in its blooming, only a slow, rhythmic unfolding of pure white petals. One by one, the layers soften and open, revealing the pristine heart within. The white of the petals is soft as moonlight, glowing faintly against the dark, calm water. It is a beauty that asks for nothing, simply existing in its own perfect moment. As the lotus rests there, floating weightlessly, the air around it seems to settle into a rhythm. It is the rhythm of existence itself, steady and comforting like the tides. The air flows in, cool and refreshing, filling the space with a sense of renewal. Then it flows out, warm and releasing, carrying away any heaviness that once lingered. This movement is as natural as the flower opening, an effortless rise and fall of energy. There is no need to control this flow. It happens on its own, gentle and automatic. Like a soft breeze moving through the leaves, the breath of the world enters and leaves. With each cycle, the stillness deepens, sinking further into the velvet comfort of peace. The mind begins to mirror the lake, becoming clear, spacious, and undisturbed. Thoughts that were once heavy simply dissolve, melting into the ripples that fade toward the shore. From the edge of this quiet lake, a small stream begins its journey. The water is clear, cool, and crystalline, moving with a fluid, easy grace. It weaves its way through an ancient forest where the trees stand tall and protective. The stream encounters stones along its path, but it does not fight against them. Instead, it flows around them with softness, changing shape to accommodate the earth. These stones are covered in thick, green moss, a lush carpet that has grown over centuries. The moss is soft to the touch, deep and yielding, cushioning the water as it passes by. There is a soothing sound here, a low, melodic murmur of water over rock. It is a lullaby sung by the earth itself, washing away the dust of the day. The water caresses the mossy stones, smoothing their edges with infinite patience. In this flow, there is no resistance, only a continuous, peaceful letting go. Everything moves downstream, away from the source, carrying with it all that is no longer needed. Along the banks of this gentle stream, tall blades of grass stand motionless. The air is cool and moist with the dawn, creating a sanctuary of freshness. On the very tip of a single blade of grass, a drop of morning dew has formed. It is small, perfectly round, and fragile, holding within it the reflection of the entire forest. The dewdrop clings effortlessly to the leaf, suspended in a moment of absolute balance. It shines with a soft inner light, like a jewel resting in the quiet air. There is a profound clarity in this tiny sphere, a stillness that feels eternal and vast. It does not try to be anything else, content simply to be a drop of water. The world around it is slowing down, matching the vibration of the dewdrop. Heavy eyelids begin to feel the comfort of gravity, drawn downward by a sweet, inviting weight. And slowly, softly, the light begins to dim, not into darkness, but into a deep, indigo embrace. The night arrives not as a stranger, but as a warm, protective blanket. It unfurls its velvet softness over the lake, covering the white lotus in safety. It wraps around the flowing stream, quieting the murmur of the water. It settles over the moss and the grass, holding the dewdrop in a suspended hush. This darkness is kind and nurturing, a vast space where everything can finally stop. The night embraces every tree and stone, whispering that it is safe to let go completely. The boundaries between things begin to blur, softening into a unified field of rest. There is nothing left to do now, nowhere else to be but here, floating in this ocean of quiet night, sinking deeper into the cushion of sleep. The silence is thick and comforting, wrapping around you like a soft cocoon. Everything is at peace. Everything is still, resting in the gentle arms of the night. In the center of this enveloping softness, a vast and tranquil space begins to open. It spreads out like the surface of an ancient lake. The water is deep, still, and impossibly clear. It reflects the quiet wisdom of the stars above. There is no ripple to disturb the perfect mirror. Resting upon this glass-like surface of the mind, a single white lotus begins to gently stir. It rises slowly from the cool, nourishing depths. The petals are pristine, untouched by the dust of the world. They possess a luminescence that glows in the dark. Layer by layer, the flower begins to unfold. There is no rush in this silent blooming. It happens with the effortless grace of nature. Each petal uncurls to reveal the purity within. The white color stands out against the dark water. It is a beacon of absolute peace and stillness. As the flower opens, the heart opens with it. The tightness of the day simply melts away. It dissolves into the cool water surrounding the stem. The lotus floats, completely supported by the lake. It does not need to struggle to stay afloat. It simply rests, held by the gentle buoyancy. This unfolding moves in a familiar, steady rhythm. It creates a soft tide within the chest. The breath flows in and out, natural and unforced. It mimics the slow expansion of the white petals. Inhalation brings a sense of fresh, cool space. Exhalation releases everything that is no longer needed. The air enters and leaves like a gentle guest. There is no need to control this natural tide. It happens all by itself, a gift of life. With each breath out, the body sinks deeper. The sensation of weight becomes pleasant and grounding. The breath is a soft wind moving through the reeds. It whispers secrets of relaxation to every tired muscle. The rhythm creates a cradle for the weary mind, rocking back and forth, slowly and soothingly. There is a deep harmony between the flower and the breath. Thoughts become mist, evaporating into the rhythmic swaying. The stillness of the lake begins to flow outward. It transforms into a gentle stream of consciousness. The water finds its way over smooth, ancient stones. It trickles through the quiet, shadowed forest floor. The current moves effortlessly over rocks covered in moss. The moss is thick, green, and soft like velvet. It cushions the water's journey through the landscape. Any roughness in the mind is smoothed by this flow. The sound is a low, continuous, murmuring hum. It washes away the accumulated dust of the past. Memories of busy hours float away downstream. They are carried off into the distance, fading gently. The cool water soothes everything it touches. Stones that once felt hard are now gentle obstacles. The water simply flows around them, adapting perfectly. There is only the sensation of fluidity remaining, a sense of washing clean, of becoming new again. The coolness permeates deep into the bones. It brings a heavy, comforting relaxation to the limbs. Near the bank of this wandering, murmuring stream, the moisture gathers into perfect, tiny spheres. The air is cool and heavy with fresh dampness. A single drop of morning dew begins to form. It rests precariously on the tip of a grass blade. The blade bends slightly under the delicate weight. It is a moment of suspended grace and balance. In this tiny droplet, the whole world is reflected. It holds the stillness of the cosmos inside itself, crystal clear, pure, and completely undisturbed. The mind focuses on this single point of clarity. Everything else recedes into the soft, blurry background. Just the dewdrop, suspended in time and space. It shines like a jewel of silence in the dim light. It represents the mind returning to its origin, small, contained, and perfectly at peace. There is nothing to solve, nothing to figure out, just the simple existence of the dew and the grass. Slowly, the surroundings darken into a comforting indigo. The light fades, inviting the eyes to rest. A velvet curtain descends softly over the scene. The night expands to hold the stream and the flower. It is a blanket of safety, warm and heavy. The darkness is not empty, but full of rest. It wraps around the trees, the water, and the spirit. Every living thing surrenders to this vast embrace. The birds are silent. The wind has settled down. There is a profound sense of being completely held. The boundaries between the self and the night blur. Shadows are merely places for the tired eyes to rest. The heavy feeling of sleepiness grows stronger now. It feels good to simply let go of holding on, to allow the darkness to support the entire body. The night is a vast ocean of healing peace, and you are drifting safely within its depths, floating, weightless, and entirely free. The silence is a lullaby without words. Deep peace settles into every corner of the being. In this vast, floating silence, where the body feels lighter than air, a landscape of pure tranquility begins to emerge from the soft depths of the mind. It is a place untouched by time, where the noise of the world dissolves into a serene and endless mist. Here, upon a surface smooth as polished glass, rests a vision of perfect stillness. A wide, calm lake stretches out, reflecting the gentle glow of the stars above. And there, in the very center of this quiet water, a single white lotus begins to unfold. It opens not with effort or haste, but with a slow, graceful surrender to the moment. Each petal is a layer of soft, luminescent light, peeling back to reveal the purity within. The white of the flower is soft and milky, glowing faintly against the dark, restful water. There is no sound as it blooms, only the feeling of space expanding, creating room for peace to settle. As the lotus widens its embrace to the night sky, a natural rhythm establishes itself in the air. The breath flows in and out, mirroring the gentle opening of the flower. It is a tide of air, rising and falling without any need for control. Like the subtle ripples spreading from the lotus stem, the breath moves through the body, carrying away any lingering heaviness. The inhalation brings a cool, cleansing freshness, filling the inner spaces with calm. The exhalation releases all that is no longer needed, letting it drift away into the ether. There is no pause, no struggle, only the continuous, fluid loop of existence, rocking the spirit into a deeper state of rest. From the edge of this tranquil lake, the sound of water murmurs softly. A small, clear stream wanders through the landscape, weaving its way through a grove of ancient stones. The water is cool and crystalline, flowing effortlessly over the rocky bed. These stones are draped in thick, velvet moss, a lush and vibrant green that softens every edge. The stream glides over the mossy surfaces, cushioned and guided by the soft textures. It is a sensation of being gently held, of moving forward without friction or resistance. Thoughts that once felt solid and heavy now become fluid like this water, slipping through the crevices of the mind, washing over the moss, and dissolving into the greater flow of the stream. The sound is a low, rhythmic hum, a melody of nature that soothes the nerves and quiets the internal dialogue. Near the banks of the murmuring stream, the air grows crisp and wonderfully still. Here, the dampness of the evening has gathered into tiny, perfect jewels. A single bead of morning dew forms, resting delicately on the tip of a blade of grass. It is a sphere of absolute clarity, holding within it a miniature reflection of the moon. The dewdrop is heavy with stillness, poised in perfect balance, waiting in the cool embrace of the atmosphere. It represents a moment of suspended time, where nothing needs to be done and nothing needs to be solved. The mind focuses on this tiny point of light, finding comfort in its simplicity and its silence. The coolness of the dew seems to touch the forehead, smoothing away lines of concentration, leaving behind only a smooth, blank canvas of peace. And surrounding all these quiet wonders, the vastness of the night continues to deepen. It is not a darkness of emptiness, but a warm, heavy blanket of protection. The night creates a soft, encompassing boundary, holding the lake, the lotus, and the stream within its safe and tender arms. This darkness is soft to the touch, like heavy silk draped over the world. It embraces every tree, every stone, and every shadow, inviting them all to shut down and rest. The boundaries between the self and the night blur, as the comforting weight of the darkness presses gently against the eyelids. The world outside has faded completely, leaving only this sanctuary of healing quiet. Everything is held, everything is safe, and everything is slowly drifting deeper into the velvet heart of sleep. Deep within the velvet heart of sleep, where the boundaries of the self dissolve, a profound silence begins to expand, stretching out like a vast, dark water. smooth and unbroken by any ripple. In the center of this infinite stillness, resting upon the surface of the mind, a single white lotus begins to unfurl. It rises from the depths of the quiet, its petals opening with exquisite slowness, revealing layers of soft, luminous white that glow faintly against the dark expanse. There is no rush in its blooming, only a timeless, patient unfolding, as if the flower understands the wisdom of simply being present in the moment. The petals release a phantom fragrance, scentless yet soothing to the spirit, washing away the dust of the day, leaving only purity and empty space. As the lotus rests upon the water, it rises and falls imperceptibly, attuned to a rhythm older than time, a pulse that moves through all things. This gentle motion becomes the breath, flowing in and flowing out, natural and unforced as the tide. The air enters like a cool mist, filling the inner spaces with calm, and leaves as a warm, releasing wind, carrying away the remnants of thought. There is no need to guide this breath. It simply happens on its own accord, a continuous cycle of giving and receiving. With each exhale, the body sinks deeper, becoming heavy and wonderfully loose, as if turning into liquid light. The breath transforms into flowing water, becoming a clear, wandering stream, deep within an ancient emerald forest. The water is cool and crystal clear, meandering through the quiet shadows, finding its way without asking directions. It flows over smooth gray stones, weaving through the crevices of rocks, clothed in thick, velvet layers of moss. The moss is soft and deeply green, cushioning the passage of the water, absorbing every sound and vibration, until there is only a hushed murmur. Thoughts that once felt sharp and heavy now soften against this mossy bed, losing their edges and their weight, dissolving into the gentle current. The stream washes over the mind, cleansing and cooling every nerve, soothing the tired pathways of thinking, eroding the stubborn stones of worry, until they are smooth pebbles of peace. The water flows on, endless and patient, moving towards a place of total rest, where the current slows and widens, settling into a profound tranquility. Here, the movement becomes stillness, condensing into a single, perfect form. Upon the tip of a slender blade of grass, a solitary bead of morning dew appears. It hangs suspended in the quiet air, a perfect sphere containing the world. The dewdrop is cool and clear, holding within it a perfect silence, reflecting the vast emptiness around it. It creates a moment of absolute pause, where time ceases to move forward and the past fades into nothingness. There is only this suspended drop, shimmering with a quiet inner light, fragile, yet holding the weight of peace. The mind rests within this droplet, feeling the clarity of existence, free from the clutter of doing, simply resting in the state of being. And around this delicate point of dew, the great, compassionate night descends, an embracing darkness that is soft and warm. The night does not demand or question. It simply holds everything that is. It wraps its arms around the trees, around the sleeping stream and the stones, around the lotus floating on the lake. This darkness is a protective blanket, woven from the threads of deep rest, covering the world in safety. The shadows are not empty, but full, filled with a nurturing, heavy peace that presses gently against the skin, encouraging the muscles to let go completely. Every living thing is held in this embrace, suspended in the safety of the night, where nothing needs to be achieved and everything is already perfect. The darkness is a vast, quiet ocean, and consciousness is a small boat drifting without an anchor or a sail, carried by the slow, unseen currents towards the horizon of dreamless sleep. The air is still and heavy with rest, and the silence is a thick comfort, wrapping around the mind like wool, muffling the distant echoes of the world. Everything is slow, everything is soft, sinking deeper into the earth's embrace. And from that deep, grounding embrace of the earth, consciousness begins to drift like a vapor, rising softly through the layers of the dark soil, emerging into a space of pure, translucent stillness. Here, upon the surface of a mirror-calm lake, a single white lotus begins to unfold its petals. There is no sound to accompany this blooming, only the silent rhythm of existence opening itself to the void. The white of the petals is not merely a color, but a luminosity that glows from within, soft as the moonlight filtering through a thin cloud. It rests upon the water without weight, suspended between the depths below and the expanse above. The boundaries of the flower seem to blur, merging gently with the cool air surrounding it. It does not strive to bloom, nor does it hurry. It simply allows the unfolding to happen, surrendering to the natural flow of the moment. With each petal that pulls away from the center, a sense of vastness expands outward, rippling through the fabric of the night. This expansion mimics the gentle tide of the breath, a rising and falling that belongs to no one. It is not a breath that is taken or forced, but a natural oscillation of the universe itself. The air flows in, bringing with it the coolness of space, and flows out, releasing all that was held. There is no separation between the air outside and the space within the center of the being. It is one continuous, uninterrupted current, moving like a soft wind through an open window. In this rhythm, the concept of a distinct self fades, leaving only the sensation of breathing, pure and unattached to any form or name. The breath becomes the water, and the water becomes the breath, flowing effortlessly into a stream that wanders near. This stream moves through a landscape of shadows, gliding over ancient stones covered in thick velvet moss. The water does not resist the stones in its path, but wraps around them with fluid grace, accepting the shape of the riverbed without question. It understands the wisdom of non-resistance, finding the path of least effort towards the ocean. The moss, green and soft in the dim light, drinks from the passing current in silence. It represents the patience of aeons, resting on the rock, witnessing the ceaseless flow. Time here does not move in a straight line, but circles and eddies like the water in a pool. Past and future dissolve into this single flowing instant, where the water, the stone, and the moss are one. Nothing is permanent, yet nothing is ever lost, changing forms in a dance of endless becoming. From this flowing stream, the moisture rises, gathering in the cool air of the pre-dawn quiet. It coalesces into a single, perfect sphere, a bead of dew settling on the tip of a blade of grass. This tiny world holds the reflection of the entire cosmos, a universe suspended in a fragile, liquid crystal. The dewdrop does not cling to the grass, nor does the grass hold onto the weight of the water. They exist together in a delicate balance, connected by the unseen forces of nature. In this reflection, the stars above are brought down to earth, shining within the curvature of the water. It is a reminder of the emptiness that holds all things, the clear space that allows reflections to appear. The drop is there, shimmering and complete, yet ready to evaporate or fall at any moment. It rests in the perfection of its own transience. Beautiful, because it does not try to last forever. And wrapping around this fragile drop of dew, surrounding the flowing stream and the blooming lotus, is the vast, compassionate embrace of the night. The darkness is not a wall, but a warm blanket, soft and permeable, dissolving all sharp edges. It is the great void from which all things emerge, and to which all things eventually return. The night absorbs the shapes and colors of the world, turning the distinct forms into a unified shadow. There is no longer a clear line where the water ends, and the shore begins, or where the sky meets the earth. All is blended into a seamless tapestry of peace. The mind rests in this velvet obscurity, floating in a sea of pure potential and rest. Thoughts drift away like leaves on the dark stream, carried off into the mist without judgment. There is no need to hold on to anything here, for the night holds everything in its care. The observer and the observed become one essence, melting into the profound silence of the deep. It is a return to the origin, to the stillness before sound, where the spirit is weightless and free. The darkness is kind, the silence is deep, and the peace is absolute and unending. In the center of this vast, velvet quietness, a single white lotus begins to unfurl its petals, resting gently upon the mirror of a perfectly still lake. There is no ripple to disturb its pristine reflection, only the pure presence of white against the dark water. It opens not because it desires to be seen, but because it is the nature of things to unfold, revealing the emptiness at its fragrant heart, a space where form meets the formless. Floating in a timeless suspension of grace, the flower exists without a name or a purpose, simply being in the center of the void, radiating a soft luminescence that touches nothing, yet connects to everything in the unseen depth. The boundaries of the petals dissolve into the air, becoming one with the silence that cradles them, a gentle expansion into the infinite space, where the observer and the flower are the same, resting in the hollow of the great mystery. And this unfolding is like the rhythm of the air, a soft tide rising and falling without any effort. The breath enters and leaves like a welcome guest, passing through the open doors of the spirit. It is not a breath that belongs to anyone, but the gentle respiration of the universe itself, expanding into the silence and contracting back into deep peace, a seamless circle of giving and receiving, where nothing is held and nothing is lacking. The air flows through the hollow reed of existence, creating a soundless music of pure being, rising like mist and settling like dust, anchoring the soul in the present moment, which is the only moment that has ever existed. A continuous loop of arrival and departure that moves nowhere, yet touches everywhere, soothing the mind into a state of clear water, transparent and still. The rhythm flows like water over ancient stones, a clear stream weaving through the mossy crevices. The water does not fight the path of the rock. It simply yields and finds its way around. Softness, overcoming hardness through patience. The green moss drinks from the passing moment, existing in a slow, deep time of its own, where centuries pass like a single afternoon, washing away the illusion of separate shapes, blending the stone and the water into one song. The current carries away all that was heavy, eroding the sharp edges of memory until everything is smooth and rounded, flowing towards the great ocean of the unmanifest. There is no destination for this water, only the joy of the journey itself, sliding over the cool, dark earth, murmuring secrets to the roots of the trees in a language older than words, until the flow settles into a single, perfect drop, a bead of morning dew resting on a blade of grass, holding the reflection of the entire sky within it, poised in a delicate balance of stillness. It is a tiny world of crystal clarity, shining for a moment before returning to the earth, teaching the heart the beauty of letting go, evaporating into the mist, becoming one with the air that surrounds it, weightless and transparent in the void. The drop does not cling to the leaf. It accepts the gravity of the earth, merging with the soil and the roots, returning to the source of all nourishment. A cycle of water and light, playing out in the quiet theater of the mind, where every beginning is also an ending, and every ending is a return to peace. And now the velvet night descends to hold it all, an embrace that is vast, soft, and infinite, wrapping around the lotus, the stream, and the dew, dissolving their edges into the comforting dark. There is no longer a watcher nor a thing to watch, only the deep, warm ocean of the unmanifest. Colors fade into a soothing shade of gray, then into the gentle black of restful oblivion. The shapes of the world are melting away, returning to the silence from which they came. The darkness is not empty, but full of rest, a heavy blanket of stars and quietude, covering the mind with a layer of calm, sinking deeper into the cushion of the night, where time stops and space expands, floating, drifting. The self dissolves like mist in the sun. There is only the breathing of the dark, slow, steady, deep. The white lotus closes its petals. The stream slows to a halt. The dew becomes the air. Everything is still. Everything is one, sinking down into the soft, warm void. Nothing remains but peace, silence, and sleep.